Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European Indices. We'll look at the DAX, the AEX and the London market, the FTSE. So with the DAX here, we're looking at two possibilities. So the first one is that we've got wave 3 here, and we're looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave here to make intermediate wave 4. And the other possibility is that if I can just borrow that and copy that and put wave 4 here, then we'll be looking at this move up here as wave 1, and we'll look for wave 2 to come back, and then we'll look for wave 3 to push higher through here, up through here. So it's going to be quite simple to work with, and we're not going to miss anything. So in a bit of a nutshell here, we've been looking at the move up, be it a C wave or wave 1. This leg here will be in 5 waves. So we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then up for wave 5 here. In this wave 5 here, we're looking for 5 waves as well. We can also expect the in terms of the trading levels, this 13,000 is a major trading level. It carries more weight than 12,000 and more weight than 14,000, in fact more weight than the 15,000 here. However, the 15,000 is a medium level, where these 14 and 12 and so on are minor levels. So once we've finished this wave 4, we're looking for wave 5 to the upside. So the way that we'll handle the bullish move here will be quite simple. We know that when we are moving up through to here, then we'll see in one way or another, we'll see the first high above the level, and then we'll see a corrective pattern here, and we'll simply use that reference point here, this reference point here as the high. So once it falls back in and retests this particular number, we'll look to go long. So it's not a big deal to catch this next move up through here. So just drilling in here on this, we can go to the 4-hour chart. Now, if we are looking at this in 5 waves for C or B here, then this degree of structure is okay. If we're looking for wave 1 here, then I'll need to change the internal structure here to another degree higher. Not that it makes any difference, we'll still have the same count. So in this instance here, we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here and 4 here, and then up for wave 5 here. In wave 5, we're looking for 5 waves as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and we'll look at that in a moment. There are different ways to count this down here as well, so if you've got a different count, it doesn't mean that you've got it wrong. The main point at the end of the day with the markets is to make money, and we are looking for trade setups, and we use Elliot to help us with the direction, but we like to take our trades on support or resistance on the short side. So it's all about the setups, it's all about making money, so that's what the game's about. So in this instance here, from wave 4 going up to wave 5 here, as I mentioned, we've got wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 here, and we're looking for this little structure here. So from wave 4 here, we're looking for wave 5 waves moving up into this space here. I'm not sure what I've updated here. Okay, this will be fine. So we've got our green wave 4 here. We're looking at 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 here, and then it's been extending to the upside here. So I just have to count the waves. You just need to be able to count to 5 and then the ABC. So I just got to keep on counting. So the 13,000 was our target. So if you're long, then taking profit here is fine, is what you should be doing. And there'll be some sort of correction here. Yes, it can go higher, and it can correct and do all sorts of things here, but I just like trading to the next biggest number, like 800, hit number 8 here. The strongest number is 1, then 5, then 8, then 3. So it's important to take the money, at certain, depends on what your strategy is, of course. Anyway, I'm waffling, got to watch myself on that. So from wave 4 here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third, ABC for the fourth, and then we're looking for the 5th wave up. So it's just extending to the upside and we can count that here. Just give me a sec. So we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 5. So we'll look at this as 1 and 2 to here, 1 and 2 to here. This is a fourth wave in here, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Not sure about the little wiggle in there, but that would certainly probably put that to there, and wave 4 here, and then wave 5. So we need to see wave 5 making a new high up here. So I'd imagine this is 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 here. So we've still got a move in here to go. So close, but you know, basically we can expect corrective activity in this space here. I'd also line this up with the S&P 500. So watch the US video for the Nasdaq and the S&P and the DAX. Will all fold into one. They got pretty much the same count. So that leaves the AEX in much the same position as well. So we're looking at it in terms of wave B up here and failing from this point, and we'll look at this in more detail in a moment, but it can fail from here and go down to wave C here, or we need to look at this as this B wave as wave 1 here, and we'll also be looking for a corrective pattern as an ABC here, and then we'll look to take that long trade at that point. Currently we should be long at the moment, and we can still be long here as well. So let's just drill in here. I mean, the other thing is too, we don't want to fight the trend, do we? We need to stay long until proven otherwise. So the Elliott's fantastic, but it could be a tricky little sucker, and yeah, so we need a few other tools and a bit of common sense to prevail. So yeah, the count to the upside really hasn't changed. I can move this over here because I can see no, it's going higher. In this case, we need to leave that wave 1 there as well. So from wave 4 here, we're looking for 5 waves up through to here. A little bit hard to see in this particular space here. While we're here, I do need to point out that we are facing group 2 here. So basically from 500 we got the minor levels. We've got 1, 2 and 3 that make up group 1. Support on top of number 3, the group 1, that gets us to 5, and then support on 5 gets us up into group 2. Normally getting support on 5 here would get us up into the 600 here, the next level, with also corrective activity within this group 2 here, which is 65, 72 and 80. So between 500 and 600, the minor levels are 1, 2, 3, 5 and 8, but of course with group 2 here we've got 72 and 80 here, and this is simply the Fibonacci numbers sequence as a price ratio, because we know that the Fibonacci extensions and retracements work with Elliott, and this ties them in and bonds them a little bit more with the expansion and contraction, and also the psychology of numbers as well, because people would be thinking of 50 here rather than 49 or 51, wouldn't they? It's just natural. So we tend to think in whole numbers and even numbers and then odd numbers, to a point where I won't get into things too much, but number 7 can come up in people choosing numbers, but that's something a little bit different. But orders tend to build up at certain numbers, and the trading level kind of helps answer some of those questions. So just drilling in here, I'll just go to the hourly chart here for a moment. So from this wave 4 here, this is just continuing to extend to the upside. So we're looking at this as wave 1 and 2 here as last time, and I was unsure about this little bit space in here, so I taken off the cash market, which will have this as 1 and 2 and 3, probably A and a B and a C here, and then up for wave 5 here. For wave 3, then wave 4 here. Then in this case here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1, back for 2. So 1 and 2, and then this is the third wave here. I'm viewing this all as the fourth wave here, and another push up into the 565. So the 565 is the first level within group 2. So this is a nice place for the market to fail at. If this market drops below this number here, the 560, then we know that I've made a mistake, and we'll have a top in place at that point. But otherwise, we can just look at this ready to move up into the next level there. I don't think that the tick chart's got any. Oh yeah. Okay, it's a bit helpful. So we're kind of on track. So looking at this as a wave 4 here, this move down through here appears to be in 3 waves. So it looks like that's good enough for wave 4 here. It does look a bit bearish in this here, but this also looks like that looks corrective up through here. Okay, so all you need to do is go long on if 562 becomes support, then go long. Otherwise, this may be an A wave to here, an A, B, and C to here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 back down to here, down to the 60. That shouldn't be the case. Let me just go with this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. A, B, and C for the 4th, up for the 5th. 1, 2, A, B, C here. 1 and 2. 3 to here, or 3 to here, or an A and a B and a C, reoccurring patterns. And I think that we're okay here. We should push up from here. We should stay. Just clean this mess up here. We should push up straight up from there. But like I mentioned, if the 560 becomes a retested resistance, then we know that we've got a top in place, and I've made an error somewhere. Otherwise, we'll look for this target of 565 here. So the FTSE, okay, on the monthly chart here, we might as well just start here then. So this is pretty much in line with the rest of the world as such, as you know. So we're looking at cycle degree 3 here, primary A, primary B, primary C for cycle 4 here. And then we're looking at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then up for 5 here. There's a bit of a problem with this, which I don't like, is that wave 4 has overlapped wave 1 here. So what that means is that we either accept that or we don't. And if we don't accept it, then the next situation, this would be, do I have any more things here? No. So from wave 4 here, all we're looking for is wave 5 up here to take this high out here, and it's doing that, everything's fine. But if I had to, if we didn't accept this wave 4 overlap here, then we'd have to look at this as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, then wave 1 of the smaller degree here, which would be an intermediate wave 1 and intermediate wave 2, and then going up into intermediate wave 3 here. So I don't need to go there yet, but we do need to note this error here in this. So we could have a more of a bullish market going to the upside. So we're looking at we know 8's a profit taking number, so we can expect resistance there. Yeah, so anyway, let's just stay with this. From wave 4 here to wave 5 here, we're looking for 5 waves within this structure. So I'll just go to the weekly chart here. So from this wave 4 here, we're looking at wave 1 and 2 here. And this is a little bit, this counts a little bit different than what we've been looking at. We've had intermediate wave 3 sitting on here, but not to worry. Wave 1, wave 2, and then 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 3rd wave, the 4th wave, and the 5th wave. So I've got that there as wave 3 here. I'm quite happy with this actually, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter too much because wave 4 will still be where it is over here. So even if I put this wave 3 over here, then wave 4 is still here. But it does fit nicely here as an A wave to here, a B wave in 3 here, and then a C wave down here. It still leaves wave 4 here. It's done all the right things as such. So really we're looking at this as a wave 5 of 5 of 5 moving up through to here. This is a bit more in line with Australia actually in the Asian markets. So yeah, this can also be counted as I mentioned, wave 3 over here. And that would look like this. Maybe I've got it on the daily chart. I mean, it's just good to look at because you'll be able to, compare your own count. So 1 and 2 here, then 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2. Well, I have to pull that apart, but I've got wave 3 here, wave 4 here, wave 5 for the third here, small wave 4 here, and a wave 5 here. This could also be counted as a triangle pattern in here too if you've got that. I don't think it really matters because we still end up over here for this with wave 4 low here. So we need to look at counting this up here. I've counted this up here. I mean, it's not going to make much difference at this stage. We know that we're going to get resistance at the 7,800 here. Okay, it's at 7,700 at the moment. So if the 700 becomes a nice support, then trade long from that and move up. But being this number here and this old high here, the 8's a profit-taking number. It's going to get hit. The same as this larger 8,000 major trading level. 8's going to be hit here as well. So this count here, I've actually counted it like the Asian markets, like Australia and so on here. So the way I've counted this is a little bit different from the other European markets, but I think it's good to explore as much as possible. But at the end of the day, it's all about trading. It's all about trade signals and risk management. So, but still, it's good to look at all the possibilities, and that's why it's good to look at, even if you don't trade other markets, it's good to have a look around and see what the other ones are doing. So in this case here, this may not be the count, but it is a count that is suitable. So even though we're looking for a top in the DAX and so on and so on, and the AEX and the S&P 500 and so on, and that might be the case, and I may have this completely wrong here, but it counts quite nicely as wave 1 and 2 here of minor degree, then minute degree 1 and 2 here, and then minute degree 3 up here with 5 waves in it, which is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then looking for wave 5 up here. So whatever happens, we can expect from wave 4 here, just like the AEX and the DAX, to come up to this structure here and finish. So in this case, we'll be looking at 7,800, and we can expect that to play out as a corrective pattern within this space here as such. So I'm just going to leave it at that, and all I can say about this little space here at the moment, if the DAX and all the rest are going to push up, then this is going to push up, and the support on this has got support on 7,700 here at the moment because it's on 11. So just work any long trades off that 700. Any move, don't be long under 700. You need to be sitting on top of 700. And if you can get to 730, then you'll know you'll be pushing up higher from that point. At 730, the number 3, the group 1, then support on the 30 knows that you'll know that the market is leaving the 700, and you'll be looking at the 750 and upwards from that point there. So I'll leave it at that because the video is going on a little bit long here, but I just wanted to take a bigger picture of the FTSE today and a possible another count in line with the Asian count, which is in line with the commodity market resources. Cheers.